where you actually stand.
For this governorship election, I'm not supporting. It's not where I stand. You don't need to say I'm not supporting him.
Could it also be that they no longer see you as a major stakeholder?
Who is the major stakeholder of PDP? Mention the person. Than me. Who is the major? Mention one. You may say governors.
Yes.
Who is the governor? You tell me now.
PDP state governor, like the governor of Bauchi State.
Who is what?
The governor of Oyo State.
No, fine. Look. I can tell you something. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate. Leadership is a terrible thing. And I pity my friend Sheyi, who is there struggling to see that he gets a brother or brothers in the Southwest. He's doing all he can, but I don't know how it will work out. Let me tell you, PDP has never had it this bad in terms of leadership, particularly from the chairman of the Governors Forum. And I knew it would be so.
That's Bala Mohammed.
Of course. Of course. Let me tell you, leadership is not by mouth, it's not talking. It's not by talking, it's by action. It's not tomorrow you go and blame INEC. How do you know how people are treacherous? When Tabua finished as the chairman of PDP Governors Forum, we have always done it north and south. But Bala and Co connived and went to Bauchi and took away the chairman of Governors Forum of PDP to the north. Of course, he knows if I was governor, it won't happen. He knows if I was governor, it won't happen. He succeeded in that because in what we call infantile ambition. To be a leader, you must have to make a lot of sacrifice. You must have the capacity to galvanize the people. You're an opposition party. You're not in the ruling party. People will see that you are serious of taking over power. It's not by mouth. It's not by going to television to talk. It's not by abusing people. It's by how you mobilize their colleagues. He's the chairman of Governors Forum. How has he mobilized his colleagues? By funding the party to make sure the party is effective and efficient to the National Working Committee. To see that they take over power from the ruling party in Ondo State.
By funding the party.
It is necessary.
There are no big spenders anymore in the PDP.
I don't know what they call big spenders. All I'm saying, funding the party. You know what they call big spenders. How you calculate what they spend, I don't know.
Your Excellency.
No, I didn't say that. What do you mean? Don't I know that they're funding the party?
Your Excellency, a lot of people
Listen, why you people allow Nigerians to get this information? It will help Nigerians. It will help the party people. Because, you see, when you travel on social media, you won't get the real thing going on. As far as I'm concerned, apart from what Sheyi is doing, and with his brother Osun State, Adeleke, I see no galvanization for PDP to win in Ondo State. Yes, it's correct. Yes. You don't need to deceive people. Listen, you look at me. I'm the city minister. Not just minister for nothing. I'm a very strong one. And I know what to do.
to galvanize.
I know what to do. So it's not somebody can say, if you do so, you pay.
Is it too late to do that?
No, I cannot. Look, you see, I'm a realist. Anybody who knows me, I don't play this way. She is my friend. Very, very close friend. There's no way Shehu will come to Abuja. He will not come to my house. I won't go to his place. We are very close. And he knows my position. And he knows it. Nothing can affect our relationship. No, I don't do that. Fintri is my friend. He didn't know. I said, look, as far as Bala thinks that he owns PDP, thinks that he can use PDP to do to his own selfish interest, it won't work. What is the problem? Maybe that would have stayed to what maybe you may have in mind to ask. You took what belongs to the South here. The chairman of governor for the PDP got to come to the South. You took it. Because you think you are too smart.
In clear terms, you are alluding because of ambition. Are you saying because
Two.
of ambition?
Two. Because they have ambition. Or to one. Nobody, people should have ambition, but only because all the inordinate is rubbish. But why not build your party first? Make your party to be a strong party that you can sell to Nigerians. When you don't do that, then you're not being serious. It's not by just, like I said, not by going to television. The federal government is doing nothing. That has nothing to do for Nigerians to believe what you're talking about. Now, what's the problem? All you're interested is to remove the national chairman, acting national chairman. Why? It's not playing according to what you want. All these crises you see today, and that's what I tell Nigerians, that some politicians is terrible. Bala was one. I say Makinde. As Fintri. As acting national chairman. Bala was the person.
Nuisance Lele.
Wike is a madman. Remember that. He is with Tinubu and is somehow still, as people have said, right? They said Wike, Soloma Kende Ibadan. These two, they have one job that Tinubu want them to do, is to keep PDP completely in comatose and divided. So it was having problem with Atifku before. Now, it's not just Atifku. It's now having problem with Bala Mohammed. So Bala Mohammed, that one from Bauchi, right? That one too is like acting, clever by half, right? Trying to dislodge Wike's loyalists in PDP so that they can actually be an opposition party, not a holding bay for Tinubu, which is what Wike and Soloma Kende Ibadan, one of the 5 G-string governors then, right? So Soloma Kende Ibadan is loyal to Wike. Wike is loyal to Tinubu, and this chain of command is to keep PDP divided somehow. So if Wike's hand is removed, there is a chance that maybe PDP can actually be an opposition. But with the Pintiri, Atifku's political boy, and Soloma Kende Ibadan, see these two, they sing the praise and praises of Wike. That's why Wike says they are his friends. So they said in their permutation, they are hoping that Tinubu will become incapacitated, maybe become a Arokeshe, cripple or something, like anything, where we say Tinubu no go contest in 2027. So they can then possibly now receive, this is how mad they are, their permutation. So they will receive the blessing of Tinubu, okay, to now go and run in APC, in PDP, which would then mean the power will still remain in the south between Wike and Soloma Kende Ibadan. So any effort to try to cut off Wike's hand in PDP, Soloma Kende Ibadan will make sure that that never happens. So you get. So Bala Mohammed's efforts with others is now considered as Bala Mohammed's personal ambition that he wants to be president. So if Bala Mohammed talks like an opposition and say, look at what people are facing. Nigerians are struggling, things are hard, things are tough. So with a Wike, that is unacceptable. How can you say the federal government is not working? How can you say Tinubu is failing? What nonsense is that? That is unacceptable. You cannot say that. You have to say Tinubu is trying. PDP cannot be opposition. That's not how to do it. We are all supposed to be together. That is what is playing out. So Solomon Kende Ibadan also wants to be president, but not to be president. It is to help Tinubu further destroy and decimate PDP. So that in 2027, then Solomon Kende Ibadan won't be governor again. And he may just go and become a minister under Tinubu, like Were Wike. So any effort to try to reposition PDP, to rearrange PDP, it must be stopped, it must be rebuffed. And that is why Were Wike is believing that he is a force, that PDP, with the amount of money he spent on PDP, and they betrayed him, he is the main force in PDP. He's a very powerful force, who is Bala Mohammed. And as Were Wike is concerned, Tinubu no get opposition. PDP no be opposition. PDP cannot disturb because Were Wike is a stakeholder in Tinubu's regime. Therefore, PDP APC is PDAPC, and that's how it should be. No, not this kind of opposition of criticizing Tinubu. Which kind of level now? Do you get that now? This is the supposed arrangements. That is why he's now having problem with Bala. And he calls the two PDP governors, Solomon Kende Ibadan and Fintiri, his friends, that will never stop coming to his house. Because their job is to secure Were Wike's place. PDP must remain divided and possibly destroyed. That's how it's going to be. It's a crazy place. Seriously, it is a crazy place. And you will feel sorry for those of you who are waiting for 2027. You want to do election with Tinubu in 2027. They built houses for judges. They are going to build houses for judges. They are going to buy them cars, expensive cars. They've increased their salary by 400%. They're getting themselves ready for 2027 already. Sure you get? So if PDP try to play any smart game, the court will just, a judge in Abuja will just rule something about PDP. Now that one they're going to deal with. That is what they will be dealing with. That they will never get themselves. As long as Were Wike, which he has been given so much influence and a blank check. And he can do whatever he wants. That's deliberate. Somebody said he's deliberately scattering Abuja. So that all those places where they vote against APC, they're not going to be in place again by 2027. They would either have, made most of you homeless, that by 2027, una go don't leave Abuja. Una no go get that power to vote against APC. Talk less of you, changing the demography of the voting demography. No. They are changing it now. It's a crazy place, man. It is unreal, But let's leave them and their wahala. Here is the representative of the man that represents the constituency of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The other day we were talking about Nigeria having a Igbo problem. You see, a lot of people probably don't even understand what that means. You as a person, you may not like the Igbos as you are raised not to like them, okay? But you don't really have any influence in what is institutionalized hatred, institutionalized tribalism against the Igbos. It's beyond just you and I saying we don't like them or we like them. It's beyond that. This is like, I actually called it a Cold War. After the genocidal war of 67 to 70, right? Nigeria, I mean, when Yakubu go lost, instead, what they have now, what they have then is no winner, no vanquish. What they activated is, I mean, institutionalized in Nigeria is Cold War against the Igbos. Yeah, the Igbos seems to probably have breached and beat all those, roadblocks and limitations, so to say, with those who kick-started that genocidal war against the Igbos in the 1967 to 1970. Normally, if you go back to history, that was like unnecessary war. So when Gowon fired the first shot from the mountain of Shenakogia Benue straight into the eastern part of Nigeria that kick-started the war, it wasn't the Biafrans that shot at Nigeria. It was Nigeria that shot at them. They were meant to, not only to physically destroy the Igbos, they were to psychologically destroy them too. But just 10 years after the end of the war, the Igbos were back in contention. 20 years, even 50 years after, the Igbos are now among the top economies that controls the economy of their contraption today. That wasn't the plan. The Igbos were supposed to be like the Almajiris of today. There are people who will be saying, the Igbos, they were so rich, man, it was just after the war. That's why they are now very wretched. But the Igbos, they bypassed. They beat all those odds. They beat all those institutionalized roadblocks, except for the leadership parts, which their institutionalized tribalism has maintained so far. So in Nigeria, it's always like that, even though if you look at the whole scheme of things, right, you can say Nigeria have two rules, one for the North and one for the rest of us. Abi? When it comes to the Igbos in the equation, it's even worse in his own word. Because what would you say is the offense of Nnamdi Kanu now? After all that has happened in Nigeria, especially in the last 4 or 5 years, Nigeria, the atrocities of the Fulani terrorists, the Boko Haram terrorists, and so many other terror groups in Nigeria, what would you say Nnamdi Kanu did that they still have to keep him in their detention and they just want him to be there? You can say, okay, because of Boko Haram. Now, Boko Haram is not there. The court said Nnamdi Kanu should be released. But Tinubu is there now, and they're still keeping him. They kept it that way. So you get, while others are being freed, left, right, and center, those who actually killed people are being freed, pardoned. But person will be say in microphone, the camera, the radio, and all of that he established, never killed anybody. It's like, no, we can't let him go. In his words, listen.
Just, I can tell you the whole lot of things have been done, not just by me, but well-meaning Nigerians, stakeholders, who have found this to be an issue of injustice, who has also found this to appear, like the last time I was there, I said it would appear that there are two sets of rules in Nigeria, one for every other Nigerian and another one for the Igbo man. Where every other Nigerian will scale certain circumstances, the Igbo man will find it very difficult to scale. But what we thought would have been more meaningful is the invocation of sections 174 of the Nigerian Constitution that allows the Attorney General, before the determination or a judgment of the court, that he can write to withdraw the matter. There are precedents that have already been set on this. So we're just asking, well, the way they have done for Igbo, the way they have done for Sowore and many others, that Nnamdi Kanu is entitled to those fundamental rights as a citizen.
Well, you mentioned Section 174 of the Nigerian Constitution. I recall that in June, you made a direct appeal to President Tinubu, along with dozens of your colleagues at the National Assembly, urging him to order the Attorney General to discontinue the case based on that section 174, which gives him the power to end the trial in the public interest and in the interest of justice. Did you ever hear back from the President or the Attorney General?
Like I said, we've met with the Attorney General. I've met with him several times. I've met with his Chief of Staff of Mr. President and many other government functionaries. The only person I have not met one-on-one now is Mr. President.
Right.
And for obvious reasons. He has to be satisfied with the legal position and also satisfied with the security positions. So I wish to talk so much, but so much has been happening now. The confidentiality of that is also what I said as a government officer.
You can't reveal.
That I can't reveal,
Right.
I can't. But I am very optimistic that after all said and done, recently my governor, my amiable governor, Dr. Alex Oti, also talked about it, having met Mr. President, and some assurances that were given to my governor by Mr. President. Those assurances that have been given to my governor remain consistent with the assurances also that I have been given and the things that I have worked with certain circle that have been put up for this. And I'm very optimistic that within no short distance time, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be released from detention. Whether he's going to be released by the invocation of Section 174 or whether he's going to be granted bail, the Supreme Court, after all, said that the lower court ought not to have revoked his bail, considering the circumstances that he faced before he absconded. Meaning the military came to his home, ransacked his home, and he escaped. Possibly, if he was there, he would have been shot dead, just like many others. The Supreme Court held that under the circumstances, his actions of running away was justifiable. That's what the Supreme Court said. So that since they have already said that he cannot be denied bail, it is also our desire that if bail can be granted to him, I am willing, able to countersign that bail so that he can have the ability to leave detention, at least to be able to take care of himself, see his family, and undertake other activities that's such a...
See? And that is a very plausible argument. There are other things, probably other factors that scares them to death. I don't know, like, why would they be so afraid of a man whose only viable weapon is his voice, his words? But they are not afraid of those who actually wield weapons, those who have killed people, and those who continue to kill people. They are not afraid of them as they are afraid of this man. Is it because he's an Igbo man? The answer is yes. Because it seems like it's only this type of Igbo man that says things that he means and is not selfish and is not talking about himself. It's not kind of like, wanting something for himself, but for his people. I think that threatens them a lot. It does. So that argument is plausible. And whatever it is that they are pushing behind, which is what they believe is also or would also be instrumental to the peace, the peaceful resolution of what's going on in the eastern part of Nigeria, the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu, unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. It's one thing they call the pathway to peace, but there is more to it. He is still adamant. He is telling them, like, I am not going to drop the advocacy for the referendum of the Biafran South of Nigeria. That is not negotiable. And I think that is what they feared most. That's what they feared most. Talking about the eastern part of Nigeria. Here is something. I got two things. One from Nnewi in Anambra. It's called Owerri Road. I think this is the road that leads to Owerri. or from Owerri in Imo State, okay? So where Soludom is believed to be carrying out, or will be carrying out some major, infrastructural refurbishment road, and houses will be demolished, and the people are already collecting their personal effects on this road. I saw that on Newi Connect, it's called. I'm like, oh, this looks like something that will be interesting if indeed Soludom actually works on it. So let me share that with you.